Will Robinson here from Robinson's Auto, toolsandtime.com. Welcome back, guys. Today in the shop I have this 2004 Dodge Crew Cab with the 5.7 Hemi with an exhaust leak coming from the passenger side manifold, exhaust manifold. Took a quick peek up in there. I can see a couple of studs are missing, so it's a dreaded scenario. It's a common issue on these and many other engines. They tend to break pretty much flush with the cylinder head. Sometimes you get lucky and they're a little ways out. Little history on this vehicle: it came from another garage, so all the parts are already on the seat. I'm not sure the whole story, but they had already purchased manifolds for it, so we'll be putting a new manifold on it. I don't think I'm going to tackle the driver's side manifold because it's not leaking at this point and all the studs are still in place, even though that might be the best time to replace the studs, but my luck, they're going to break as soon as I touch them. So what I suggested to them: knock it out, in a month or two bring it back when I'm in the other shop. There's been a few different methods over the years that I've implemented for extracting the bolts out of, or studs out of cylinder heads. A lot of times, center punch, drill, one shot, done. However, if you get off center, you could damage the cylinder head and whatnot, and create yourself a whole another can of worms that I don't even like talking about. Because if that jinxes me, I'm gonna kick myself for that one. So I'll knock on something. However, I was watching a video from Eric O from South Main Auto. He's got a great channel, and he used a nut and he welded it to the stud, even when it was recessed a little bit. Now that's a common practice in an industrial application when we have broken studs and whatnot in the machinery, but everything's much bigger. You just throw a nut on there, weld it, extract it, and it works great. Never tried it on a cylinder head. I was always a little afraid, but after watching his demonstration, I figured, you know what, if one comes in, I'm going to give that a shot. Because what a time saver that would be. Take a listen. I'll give you guys a peek of the driver's side as well. As you can see, they're rusted pretty good. I'm not hearing any leakage from this side, and all the studs still appear to be at least rusted in place. Alright, I got it jacked up and placed on a jack stand. Now we're going to take and remove the inner wheel well cover. A few retainers around the perimeter. Nothing real fancy. A couple more back throughout. Alright, as you can see, we got a pretty straight shot to this manifold. So it's relatively easy to get to. But as you can see, what I'm dealing with, I'm not even sure if a socket's going to extract the ones that are still in place. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I'm still seeing studs, at least on that one. And the one underneath, I seen a little piece of the stud sticking out. If that's the case, this shouldn't be hard at all. Okay, the first thing I'm going to try to do is break off some of this real heavy stuff. So I get my socket on it, at least. Give me a fighting chance at it. They probably started getting in there, but they were probably like, oh no, no way. It is what it is. Now I'm going to heat them up a little bit. Spraying penetrating oil on these, I'm not sure if that would really help it or not. However, I know heat will. Well, as soon as I start putting heat on this, it'll burn this rust right out of there. Before I start heating it, I wanted to see what size socket I could tap onto it. And it feels like an 8mm. Once it starts sliding on. So, I hate to do it with a good socket. But I might try it with this cheaper one. I don't know. Let's give that a whirl. Picked up one of these sets of strip bolt extractors. We're going to give that a shot. Since we know it's just too far gone for a regular socket, this is an 8mm or a 5/16. I'm debating on whether to heat that up a little bit more or not. We'll tap this on there and see what we got. Give it a shot. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. Gosh. I'm nervous, guys. I'm gonna go back in with it a little bit. What I'm seeing is there's not much meat left on that bolt. It's all but stripped out. Oh gosh. I'm not sure if that's really getting up in there or not. I just don't want the stuff getting everywhere because I don't know if it's flammable, but it should evaporate by the time I heat up the next one. I'll run it back in a little bit. Maybe if some did get up in there, it'll help me out a little bit. Yep. Alright, so as you can see, it's getting really tight on its way out, and it's so rounded and rusted that it just keeps on chiseling away at it. So I'm going to use that method of welding a nut. The only difference I'm using is I'm using a jam nut, much more low profile. I'm going to tap it on a little bit if I can. Alright, here we go. Let's try this out. I'm not sure if I got a good bite on the inside. However, on this I can get up here a little bit. Really got me worried. If I can't get it to come out like that, sometimes the pressure of the manifold will bind them. So I'm not sure if that's what's going on there, if I should just get the rest of them loose and then come back at it, just in case the manifold's pushing over on the threads and the threads are coming into the cast of the manifold and putting side pressure on the cylinder head, because it's awful weird that it's coming out so far and then binding up like that. So I think at this point I'm just gonna leave this one well enough alone and just try to move on to the next. Right now I think the nuts actually, or the studs actually expanded, so give it a couple seconds. Let's get this tapped on there meanwhile. Alright. Wish me luck, guys. It was really ripping into it, I can tell you that. This might be another nut welded on here. Oh. Start moving, guys. I don't know if you've seen that. A little warm. There's one all the way out. Keep moving forward. You know to rest it when you get a 5/16. I believe it was supposed to be a 10. Can't believe that. Freaking nuts coming out. That freaking nut wouldn't come off if I wanted to before. That washer up there. Now we get on that. Try it with a 12mm 6-point. Let's try it. Alright. I think we got lucky, guys. 12mm grabbed it just right. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I'm just wasting my time with that oxygen, guys. Just wasting the turn everything black. Surprised what a little bit of vibration will do for you. I'm going to try it once. If it feels like I'm putting too much pressure on it, I'm going to stop. And we're going to wait. I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing. Yeah, just like I thought. I don't know if I have a lower profile. Maybe I get in there with my old snappy. Oh yeah. Well, I got something moving. It's either moving or breaking. Well, I believe I got it, guys. Gotta get that socket off before I go too far. I think I'm actually out of cylinder. I'm just in the rusted old manifold now. Alright, here we go. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to attempt any more tonight without heat. We got 3 more bolts remaining, not including the back where it attaches to the exhaust. However, I think it's like 9 o'clock almost. I'm going to call it quits for tonight, pick up another tank in the morning. Alright, we got some oxygen packed. We're just going to repeat the process on the lower bolts. Okay. Come on. Nope, that didn't work. Well, sorry the battery cut out there, guys. I just wanted to give you guys a shot. I was able to get another one out by welding a nut. I was able to get underneath there, and it's a crappy weld, guys. However, it worked, and it got one more out. Then I went to pull out the other bottom one, and as soon as I turned it, it was broken. It was just sitting in there, rusted off. So then I was able to smack the manifold, and it came loose like that. And then this bolt, like we talked about earlier, pretty much spun out with the ratchet at that point. So it must have been hanging up inside the manifold a little bit. I can take it out the rest of it with my fingers. As you can see, that was our first initial welding of the nut. That's one of them. Okay, so I was able to get underneath, hammer a socket on there, give it a little twist, and break that back one off. Well, and as you can see what we got here, 2 more studs, and that one nasty crusty one right there. You can tell that's been broke for a while. Oh god. Now these ones here, I'm going to try a little something different on. I want to get them nice and hot. I'm going to let that one cool back off. Alright, here's something we made up on the last exhaust manifold job I did. It's a threaded coupling, as you can see, usually used with all thread. And we drilled and tapped set screws, as you can see. I was having trouble finding a stud extractor that would fit into a tight quarter on the Fords, where it has the reinforcement right in the way. So this is what we came up with. I'm going to try the hardest one first. Let me go up to the next one bigger. Okay. Let's try this out. And the hopes are that the threads and the set screws will be enough to grab it. Okay. Wish me luck, guys. I need it. Come on, baby. It worked. I can only hope the next one comes out as easy. I mean, it's a brilliant idea. It's simply genius. You've seen it first here. As you see, double set screws. Reusable. I should make them for you guys and sell them to you. Hope we get that lucky on this one. Worst comes to worst, I'm going to put a tack weld on here. We got it. Hot dog. Isn't that a beautiful thing? You can see how those set screws are really digging in. Wasn't much left to that bolt. Once we got through the rusted, they dug in nicely. Alright, well those were the only two I thought were broke, but evidently the worst was yet to be seen. What I don't like is how rusty it is in there. I'm going to try to clean that up a little bit. I got a mess here. I'm going to build this up a little bit. Get that started on there for a minute. Square it up. Let that cool down a little bit. Alright, here we go, guys. Wish me luck. I think it's going. I can't believe that. I think we got it, guys. Ah, yes. Well, thank you, Dr. O, down there at South Main Auto. Made my life a lot easier today. Okay, it's really noisy out there today. I just wanted to give you a shot at the cleaning process. As you can see, I just took two pieces of paper towel, split each one in half, and just shove them into the ports. It's worth it. Keep that dirt out. And then I use a wire wheel. You can use those small sanding disc. However, don't use nothing abrasive, really abrasive, because it's only aluminum. So it doesn't take much. You don't have to go crazy with it. Blow the holes out. Alright, we're going to take and reinstall the exhaust manifold now. I'm not going to take you guys through this procedure. It's pretty straightforward. You got a gasket. As you can see, it's got a metal surface. Now they are different from side to side. Therefore, make sure you use the correct gasket. New bolts. Torque in the spec. I'll leave a torque diagram here along with the sequence. And it's really pretty straightforward, guys. It's wide open. Just put it on, bolt it, torque it, and you're good to go. Just as a quick shot, got two new top bolts installed with the gasket just hanging from them. Just gonna slide in here like so. Should we get the back to slide into the manifold? That didn't work quite as smoothly as possible, but well, we got one. Okay. Alright, so we got a couple bolts started there. These two bottom ones, the rest are a little bit longer, and they have the studs on them for the heat shield. Hope you guys enjoyed a couple quick tips. Thanks to Eric O from South Main Auto for highlighting that little welding technique. Works really well in this application as well. Till next time, stay tuned.